Hello everyone, welcome to Arka Astro Science. So today I am back with the transit of Ketu. Ketu is transiting in the sign of Leo, just like Rahu is transiting in the sign of Aquarius. In this content, I will be talking about the impact of the transit of Ketu in Leo for all the 12 ascendant signs. If you have not watched the content regarding the transit of Rahu in Aquarius for all 12 ascendants, then you should definitely go and watch it. I've made a detailed content regarding that transit. In this content, I will be talking about the effects of transit of Ketu in Leo, and I will also talk about all the 12 ascendant signs. If you are new to this channel, tap onto the subscribe button, click onto the notification bell icon so that every time I make a new content, you get notified instantly. And as you watch it, if you like this video, press the like button, share it to your near and dear ones. Your comments are also welcome to me. If you want a consultation from me or a reading from me, check the links down in the description section. You can mail me through my email ID or you can get connected with me through my Facebook or Instagram accounts. So now let us talk about the effect of this transit of Ketu in Leo. This transit becomes significant because Leo is a royal sign. Leo becomes the fifth sign of the natural zodiac, the fifth house of the natural zodiac. It signifies new beginnings. It signifies our pride, our ego, our identity in front of the public world. Creativity, creations, anything which we are proud of. That can be any sector of your life. So that can be represented by in which house in your horoscope the sign Leo lies. It can be your second house, it can be your first house, 10th house, 6th house, 5th house, it can be any house. That sector of your life will signify what you are proud of, what defines your ego. Now, anything which makes us too much egoistic, or sometimes we may become arrogant, ignorant about the real life, about certain things, and suddenly Ketu arrives in the sign of Leo. Now, what is Ketu? Ketu is disconnection, Ketu is detachment, Ketu is cuts. Ketu is liberation, salvation, moksha karak. Sometimes this is a confusion that who is a better salvation giver, Ketu or Jupiter? Because Jupiter is the ruler of the 12th house of the natural zodiac, Pisces, and 12th house is moksha, and Ketu becomes moksha karak. So, what happens when moksha karak, the planet which gives us liberation, detachment, disconnection, it enters the sign which decides our pride? So it causes dissolution of our ego, disconnection to anything which decides our pride. Leo, since it is a royal sign, it also decides leadership qualities, leadership positions, or anyone who are or who is in authoritative roles, or someone who is superior to you and have leadership qualities. So Ketu will have a direct impact on those aspects of your life. Here Ketu is coming to teach us humility, benevolence. Sometimes you will see that our ego can be so high and sometimes so destructive that we become arrogant, ignorant. And out of that arrogance, we simply have a nature that we don't care anything. Ketu will bring a direct blow to it. Why? Because Ketu signifies roots, that what we are, what is our capabilities? It may be that out of power, out of some authority, out of some position, we are behaving in such a way that we should not behave. So when Ketu comes in that sign of Leo, it directly challenges our pride. Is it true or is it false? Is it what we are really? So this is a very good transit of self identification. If you are in any kind of role related to authority, executive, or you are a manager, or you are a leader, or you are someone who has the responsibility to guide a group of people, this is a time when you will see that there will be confusion, there will be mental fatigue, that how you are controlling the things. There can also be disconnection towards your job, towards your role, towards your work, and you may also feel that people are now questioning your authority, questioning your way of deliverance of your command. Why? Because now there are certain loopholes which will come off, which will come in front. Previously you were simply either exploiting or you are misusing your power. Now Ketu is coming to bring front all those loopholes, all those things in front, that these are the things which needs to be corrected. Now why is it only Ketu? Because Ketu is known to find the things very critically, even more critical than Mercury. Mercury is the planet which has that discriminatory power. What is right, what is wrong, what is true, what is false, what is light, what is dark, what is correct, what is wrong. Means that is Mercury. Logic, critical thinking. Even more critical than Mercury becomes Ketu. And Ketu is truly emotionless. So critical judgments with respect to something which you are very proud of, all of a sudden comes in front of you. So this will directly impact someone who is a leader or in leadership position. So this is also a time where you will see that someone associated with government, someone associated with any government personnel or any high position in government all over the world, they are getting questioned. Their decisions are getting questioned. Or it may also happen that they are not feeling that full confidence while taking any decision. Because Ketu is a headless planet. You take one decision and later on you come to the conclusion that whether it is right or wrong. So there can be randomly taken any decision, particularly by the people who are in some authoritative position. And when I'm talking about with respect to countries, with respect to modern aspect, the countries who are very powerful, leaders of those country I'm talking about. So this is a time when we need to follow humility. We need to be more grounded. We need to understand the situations for everyone, not only for ourselves. It is also a time for introspecting our own behavior, own nature, our identity, our soul. One more thing is that Ketu signifies our past, the past life karmas. And since Leo is the fifth sign of the natural zodiac, so Leo, being the fifth zodiac sign, will signify the good deeds of the past life. So, in your past life, regarding any matter, suppose if you have misused your power, if you have misused your authority, or out of your ego, you misbehaved with someone, or out of your ego, your pride, or your some power, if you have done something wrong related to even money, finance, or anything, you will see similar kind of impacts are coming during this transit. What? Ketu will do, Ketu will bring forward those kind of scenarios in different ways. Now, whether it is related to money or not, whether it is related to power or authority or not, or in the domestic affairs or not, that will depend upon in which house Ketu is transiting. You will see people are afraid about the transit of sometimes Saturn or sometimes Ketu, sometimes Rahu. But many times I have seen that Rahu, except for few houses, mostly the transit of Rahu, it normally gives good results in the transit because Rahu is desire, so it fulfills the desire regarding that house. It activates that house. It creates the dynamic nature. That is what Rahu is, except for few houses. But when you are talking about Ketu, since it signifies detachment, disconnection, Ketu also brings the results related to the any kind of karma of our past life which was not done properly. Now similar kind of situations are coming as a challenge. So what happens? Transit of Ketu in most of the houses normally it brings challenges, except for few houses. Now since Ketu becomes a natural malefic planet, now transit of Ketu in the third house, sixth house, or 11th house normally it is good, being a natural malefic planet. Although there will be some challenges regarding those houses also, but overall, if I say it's a good transit. But in other houses, the significance suffers because those aspects of your life will be, you will feel as if it is getting stagnant, as if there is a control of something else, someone else is controlling it. There are delays, the decisions are taken but the results are not obtained. So this time Ketu is coming into the sign of Leo. If I talk about the dates will be similar to the transit of Rahu. On 18th of May 2025, mean Ketu is entering the sign of Leo. On 29th of May 2025, true Ketu is entering the sign of Leo. And roughly it is a transit of around 18 months, just like Rahu. So next year, 2026, 5th of December 2026, mean Ketu will come out of Leo and it will enter the sign of Cancer. And 25th of November 2026, true Ketu will come out of Leo and it will enter the sign of Cancer. So these are the dates. Now let us talk about for all the 12 ascendant signs, because this becomes very important. And if you want to check it from your moon sign also, you can definitely go and check it from your moon sign also. Starting with the Aries ascendant people, Leo becomes your 5th house and Ketu's transit is happening in the 5th house in the sign of Leo. This is the time you will see that any kind of new beginnings or anything which you are creating, anything you are fascinated about, anything which is very much related to joy and pleasure for you, you will see disconnection, detachment regarding all those aspects. So anything you are starting new, there will be delays, there will be sudden delays, there will be sudden problems, as if something is creating some kind of issues. There can be any decision making which was not thought properly and then taken. So during this particular time it is very much essential to judge any situation very critically, because Ketu gives us the power to think critically, observe critically. Since Ketu doesn't have the head, so what happens? It gives us the power, all of a sudden something comes in the mind and it happens. 5th house is also the house of our mentality, our decision making. In day to day life, decision making, anything, our management skills. Now, since Ketu is coming, you will see that there can be wrong decisions taken. In our day to day life, you may feel that whatever I'm trying to do, even if I'm thinking about it, but still the results are not as expected. There can be worries and problems related to children. In Terms of speculative business, any work related to speculation, there can be losses. So during this particular period, I would say that stay away from speculation, or else there can be losses. With respect to education, with respect to knowledge and wisdom, in regular norms related to education or in regular studies, there can be breaks, there can be delays. The people who are planning for a childbirth, or they are expecting, like the mothers who are expecting the childbirth, there can be some sudden medical problems coming up. There can be any health issues related to childbirth all of a sudden because of this transit of Ketu. One more thing I will say here is that this is also a time for introspecting your own identity. Anything which you are very egoistic about, anything which you are very proud about, you will see those things are getting dissolved. Those things are giving you setbacks. So this is also time to practice humility, be more grounded, and introspect your own identity, your own roots, that what you are actually. What are the things which needs to be mended? What are your roots? What are your thought process which can give you more groundedness while you are connecting in the public world? Now, since I say public world, this also indicates, and which also really indicates, that there can be a detachment from the public world also regarding how you are presenting yourself. Okay, so this also indicates anything which is related to creativity, anything which related to your creative self expression, that can also suffer detachment or disconnection. So there can be a very sharp inclination towards spiritual studies or philosophical studies, which can take you inwards, which can take you towards retrospection of your own ideological thoughts before connecting with others. There can be also self doubts. Anything means it can be regarding, like previously, something which was making you very arrogant, something which was making you very egoistic. Those things will be curbed. So this can take you to a very self discovery journey. So it's a very interesting transit for the Aries ascendant people. If taken positively, if followed positively, this can really give you a very good result with respect to certain aspects of your life. You will be able to find your faults, you will be able to find the loopholes in your own journey in this life. So that's it for the Aries ascendant people. For the Taurus ascendant people, Ketu is entering your fourth house. Fourth house is our happiness, mental peace, luxuries, comforts. So here Ketu can bring a very sharp inclination towards detachment of material luxuries and comforts. All of a sudden you may start feeling that I don't like this much luxury and comforts. Means you don't get so much pride regarding that. If it is there, no problem. If it is not there, still no problem. So this can also create a disconnection towards the homely environment, or the responsibilities towards the homely environment, family matter, or anyone near and dear to you living in that house. All of a sudden there can be a sharp emotional detachment towards those people. If you are related to any work related to house, landed property, agriculture, real estate, or suppose if you are doing any work or renovating your home or constructing a house, there can be sudden delays, or there can be, like, you are doing the renovation, all of a sudden you may feel, no, this was not what I meant, I have to renovate again, I have to make it again. So you may feel the renovation work is just going on and going on. There can be some conflicts which are unresolved at home. So this also indicates sudden conflicts between you and your mother or any mother figure. Ketu's transit in the 4th house also indicates relocation or moving to some faraway place, some unknown place. Why? Because 4th house is our residence, 4th house is our mental peace. And at your home, you are not finding that peace. You are not finding that thing which gives you mental peace, because luxuries, comforts, all of a sudden you may feel that I'm. So you are in a party or you are going to a get together. There are 50 people around. They are willing to talk to you, but you don't feel mixing with them. You are sitting at a corner and you are just having your meal and you are coming back to home. So when you are talking about family happiness, there can be a sharp disconnection. So this can also lead to problems related to responsibilities of domestic affairs, domestic matters. So that can make you feel to relocate to some other place. It can be any faraway place in order to find the peace of mind. Since 4th house also indicates education, particularly for the children, for the students, I would say this also indicates that the mind is not focused. There can be too much blockage at the mental level while pursuing the education or studies. In day-to-day life, for everyone, I would say for the Taurus Ascendant people, this can also relate to mental anxiety. Since 4th house is one of the moksha trikon house. Now what type of moksha? That finally I am at home. Finally I find peace. I find security. And there is no disturbance. Ketu doesn't allow that. Because Ketu doesn't have the head. So what happens? You are constantly searching for that mental peace. Luxuries are there, comforts are there, conveniences are there. There can be breakdown in vehicles, conveyances. So all these things are seen for the Taurus Ascendant people. So that's it for the Taurus Ascendant people. You have to take care of regarding all these things. Okay. For the Gemini Ascendant people, transit of Ketu is happening in the 3rd house. 3rd house is our communication, social communication, our nearby environment, our daily contacts. So when Ketu enters your 3rd house in the sign of Leo, first of all you will see that all of a sudden your social communications, your daily contacts, all of a sudden you are starting to disconnect with those people. The conversations are very straightforward, sometimes very short. The communications are very short. You are not willing to converse with them, you are not willing to mix with them. This can also show disconnection with the younger siblings. Emotional detachment. This can also create conflicts between you and your younger siblings. Any kind of creative talent which you have or any kind of hobby which you have, you may all of a sudden you may start feel that I'm not willing to proceed with it. So there can be a time of relaxation. See, 3rd house is the house of efforts, our energy, our willpower, courage. So all of a sudden there can be a feeling that let me take some time. Slowly and gradually I will work on it. So when you take time and introspect regarding your creative talents, your hobbies, you can work on it slowly and gradually and make it more perfect, because Ketu gives us the ideology of thinking anything very critically. So if you are working in regular day and life just like before, then there will be lots and lots of blockage, lots and lots of delays, or you may feel that until yesterday everything was so fine. I don't know what happened when Ketu transited into my 3rd house. The regular works are getting delayed, as if I have no control over it. Why? Because there were some faults right from the beginning, and those faults, those loopholes were not mended. Now since it is 3rd house and Ketu becomes a natural malefic planet, so Ketu by essence will give good results. So this is a time to fetch the good results out of Ketu. How? Think very critically. In your social communications also, not all people deserve your time. Not all people deserve your energy. So this is a time to remove any person whom you feel that my energies are getting drained off. I will not say toxic because it's a very subjective term. The term toxic is something which is good for you, may be toxic for someone else. Okay. But you will definitely know that whose company, whose association drains your energy, or whom you feel that you need to always present out of your pride, even if you don't want, in front of those people. You want to be more grounded, you want to practice humility, but in front of those people, means out of the situation, out of the circumstance, you have to show yourself more influential. So Ketu will say you don't need to do so much. Take your time, choose your association, choose your company, choose your group, and have a very short, meaningful conversations. So that critical thinking regarding your hobbies, regarding your creative talents also. Anything which was not allowing you to be more perfect, this is a time to make yourself more perfect. So that means too much movements are not good for you. So this is a time, if you are normally a person who likes too much short journeys, too much short travels, this is a time, avoid it. It may happen that you, because of the impact of Ketu, you may move to a place which is totally new for you, and you may get into some kind of problems, because Ketu is a headless planet, headless graha. It lets you do the work and then think about it. So you are going to some place and that place is totally unknown to you, and you have no research done on that place. Don't go. Do the research, know everything, the shortfalls, the advantages, disadvantages, each and everything, and then you go there. With regards to short travels, I'm talking about any new place or any new kind of work. Think about it critically, very, means judge it properly, I would say, and then you start it. That will give you much better results. So that's it for the Gemini ascendant people. For the Cancer ascendant people, Ketu is coming in the second house. Second house is our family values, the people who are very near and dear to us. And since it is the sign of Leo, so we feel pride about our family, our generation, our family morals, ethics, values, the culture, tradition which is laid down by our forefathers, by our family. That is Leo, your second house, for the Cancer ascendant people, and Ketu is coming over there. So Ketu here will directly question your morals, your ethics, that out of your pride, out of your ego, if you are arrogant, if you are ignorant regarding your family values, and your way of behaving and connecting with other people, if it has some element of pride, some element of ego, and it is hurting the other person, Ketu will simply detach it, Ketu will simply cut it, disconnect you with regards to all those things. Since second house is also the house of speech, Vani, it is the Vani bhav. This transit of Ketu will really make you very selective regarding what to speak, when to speak, whom to speak. Why? Because you will feel that until now, out of your pride, you are taking some decisions or you are saying something to someone. The other person might feel bad, the other person might feel sad about it, that you hurt someone by your words. Now Ketu will bring control over it. It will be totally under the clutch of Ketu. So what will happen? Either it will make you very silent as a person. Now since Ketu is a very critically it judges the things. So when you speak, your words can be very rude, your words can be very critical, very sharp. So two things. First of all, it will curb down the ego and pride related to your own values. So it is a time to introspect your own values and ethics. There can be many loopholes, there can be many problems. You have to work on that. And in that meanwhile, it will also make you a bit more silent regarding your own self discovery, regarding your own personality, your behavior, your speech, how you connect with people. But when you speak, the words can be very sharp, the words can be very rude. But since it is Ketu, one thing more I will say, that all of a sudden you say something and that turns out to be true. That can happen. Means Ketu normally, since it is a headless planet, so you will see that you say something and it comes out to be true. The other people may feel that he or she is so rude, but the things are coming true after a moment of time. Initially, your words, your speech, people may simply means you will see that your presence in a family belonging or get together is completely unseen by the other people. But when you say something, and they will be simply neglecting your words. But after a few weeks or after a few months, your words comes to be true, and then they will realize. That is how Ketu will play the game in the second house. Now, since it is the second house of money, now money has to be judged very practically. So any new investments, any financial decisions without wise thoughts, without proper research should not be done. Any money related matters. This can be highly problematic if you take any money related matters out of your pride now. This can lead to disaster. There can be loss. So think about it very carefully and then proceed for the Cancer Ascendant people. There can be any sudden change in job, or you may feel that sudden disinterest at your work. So change in source of livelihood can also be seen. Sudden expenditures. So I would say this is a very good time to repay your loans, repay your debts. Start to repay your loans and debts through this transit. It's a very welcome transit for that. Or else you will see that the money is not maintained or controlled properly. The expenditures are certain things are happening, conflicts within the family members or the elders of the family. Okay, so that's it for the Cancer Ascendant people. For the Leo Ascendant people, Ketu is coming in your first house. So first of all, I will say this is a transit for self-discovery. Your personality. Ketu will have a direct impact over your ego, over your ignorance, arrogance, your pride, your way of looking into the life. If by any chance your way of visualizing the life has pride, and that pride is impacting negatively the other people, means it can be false pride also, unnecessary arrogance. Ketu will curb it down. So this is a time to identify your roots, what you are actually, what are your strengths. Anything which is not you, anything which is falsely acclaimed, Ketu will simply destroy it. So what will be remaining, that is actually you, originally you. So we normally say that whenever Ketu enters the first house, and it makes a person true to its form, that what actually the person is. That is Ketu in the first house, because Ketu will remove all the that explicit ego, arrogance, ignorance. So it is a time to practice humility, more groundedness. Since Ketu is coming in your first house, few more things which is more important is that this is the time you need to be very careful regarding your health. Any health matters, because first house is our vitality, our health, brain. Any matter related to your health which was not taken care of previously, maybe due to lack of discipline, maybe due to bad scheduling, so you will see that those matters are coming in front of us with respect to health, and you need to take care of it. Means it will become mandatory. And since it is Ketu in the first house and Ketu has no head, so you will see the problems are not well diagnosed. So initially the doctor or the medical practitioner won't be able to diagnose the problem initially. It will take some time to diagnose the actual problem. So take care regarding any health issue or any day-to-day life scheduling which is not correct. Rectify it. And start to rectify it from the day one itself. Because since first house is brain and Ketu will cause mental fog. So what will happen? It will let you take decisions which was not meant to be taken. And later on you will get the answers that whether it is right or wrong. Sometimes it may happen that out of intuition you take a decision, or you say something, or you start a new work. It might be correct, but that will be a scenario of probability, because Ketu is a headless planet. So anything which is not serving you, anything which is not good for you, this is the time. Think very critically, dissolve it, detach it, disconnect it from your own life, which is not serving you, which is not right for you. Now that can be with respect to your work, that can be with respect to your own personal life, your own personal health. Like suppose any kind of habit which is hampering your health, disconnect it, or else this Ketu's transit will bring more problems related to that. You will see that any work you are starting, there can be multiple delays, or there can be some kind of fog, or the mind is completely clouded that whether I am taking the right decisions or not. That is, aims and objectives of a person might get impacted. So you may feel that I don't want that much in my life, so I'm happy with it, whatever I'm getting. This kind of feeling. So you need to be more research oriented, more critical regarding whatever work you are doing, regarding your day-to-day activities, your punctuality, your discipline, your sincerity towards your own self. Because as I said, Ketu will transit in the first house. It will bring your true self, that what you are actually. It will act like a mirror. Make the most positive outcome of it. Because rarely it happens that we try to understand what are our loopholes. And when Ketu comes in the first house, from the day one you will see. From the day one you will see that the things which are actually not meant for you, or which are actually not good for you, they are getting disconnected, or they are not giving you good results. And even the things which are good for you, if they have any kind of loopholes, or if they have any amount of pride or ego or arrogance, Ketu will curve it down. So be more grounded, practice humility during this particular time. So that's it for the Leo Ascendant people. For the Virgo Ascendant people, Ketu is transiting in the 12th house. 12th house is the house of salvation, liberation. Anything which was falsely acclaimed by you, by your ego, by your pride, and which you were unable to let go, means you were trying hard to let go, but you are unable to let go, and it was somehow hurting you. You will see Ketu will allow you or help you to detach it from yourself. So any unnecessary things which is creating problems in your life or creating restlessness at your subconscious level. Any unnecessary stuffs. That can be a thought, that can be a bonding, that can be a relationship which is very toxic and draining for you, or any attachment which is unnecessarily taking up time and space in your life. Ketu will cut it down. So this can also make you very isolated. This can also make you very spiritually inclined. So there can be several scenarios of escapism during this transit. Totally introvert nature. Disconnection from the social world. So this is a very good time to connect with spirituality, spiritual way of living. Since Ketu is transiting in the 12th house, there can be unnecessary expenditures also. If not managed properly, the budget and the finances are not managed properly, there can be unnecessary expenditures which are, and you will not even understand that where the money is going. You will not be able to take yourself accountable and not even able to control it. So if not managed properly, there can also be disconnections from comforts and luxuries of life. So particularly with respect to people who are connected with you, people who are in relationship with you or having some kind of bonding with you, there can be a very sharp, rude speech or connection when you speak. So you may feel irritated when you are surrounded by people or when you are in a group. So all of a sudden you will try to stay alone, you will try to stay isolated. So when people are trying to connect with you, you may feel anxious, you may feel restless, irritated. So your way of answering might be very sharp, sometimes very rude. So that is also Ketu is asking you to work on. This transit of Ketu will be highly beneficial for the people who are healers, the people who are related to spiritual learning, spiritual wisdom, meditation, yoga, or someone who wants to explore the solitude, the life of solitude in some faraway places, or visiting the guru, visiting the mentor in order to learn the spiritual way of living, spiritual studies, philosophical studies. This Ketu will help you a lot in those regards. But when you are talking about the material living, that may suffer and the pride will be curbed down. So this transit for the Virgo ascendant people becomes very critical in all those regards. So if you are having the control over your own pride, if you are having the control over your own arrogance and how you are connecting with people, you will see this transit of Ketu becomes highly beneficial because you will be enjoying that life of isolation and solitude, and also performing your responsibilities and your duties. For the Libra ascendant people, Ketu is transiting in your 11th house. Now 11th house is our fulfillment of desires, our gains, multiple gains, our source of income, our network circle, the people with whom we normally hang out, the large network circle, high position, appraisals, good news, everything is 11th house. Anything relates to something very happy, all of a sudden that is 11th house. Ketu is coming in your 11th house. So what happens? Anything which is making you very proud of, arrogant, egoistic, related to your position, related to your caliber, related to your capabilities, particularly when you are in a group of people, Ketu will create a sudden dissolution of that ego. So it will create a detachment, between you and your social connections. It will bring out your loopholes in front of your group. So all of a sudden you will feel that you are unseen, or your presence is unseen. Your ideas are not appreciated, well appreciated by the people of your group or team. So this is the time to be more grounded and work on your caliber, work on your talent, your creative skill set, I will say, or your wisdom, your knowledge, in a more philosophical ideas. Because external ego will be curbed down, particularly for the people who are in some kind of leadership roles or in some high positions, be it executive, be it a manager, be it someone who is in some high rank. Because when you're talking about high positions or achieving some high positions, that has something to do with 11th house, gain of that heights. So if it is associated with some kind of ego, some kind of arrogance, Ketu will curb it down and it will create some kind of downfall. So this is a time to simply be more research oriented, be very critical regarding your talent, regarding your work methodology, and how you are connecting with your people. Not everyone is deserving to associate with you. In your friend circle, in your network circle, there will be many people who can simply drain your energy. So this is a time to be very picky, very choosy. Now suppose if you are working in a group of people, now you cannot be choosy because that is how you are working. So what do you need to do? You need to be very grounded and practice humility in such a way that you are now not expressing yourself out of pride. You are practicing your work, you are doing your work in a very step by step manner. You are not hurrying. You are following your roots. Slowly what will happen? The people among your in your network circle or in your group or in your team, they will all of a sudden respect you for your judgment skills, for your critical thinking, for your philosophical ideas, for being more grounded. Or they will say that yes, this person is very means he has so much humility, so much benevolent. That is very essential, I will say. But in regular day-to-day scenario also, you will see that all of a sudden you are feeling very disconnected. Even if you are in a position where you are meeting with friends, you are in a group of people, still you will feel detached and disconnected. So this becomes very essential for the people who are in some kind of community or in a group of people who are very spiritual or philosophical in nature. Their group will strengthen because now the ideas are backed by spiritual knowledge. So the people who are in spiritual communities or who are in spiritual way of living or learning, they will earn name, fame, appreciation, appraisals. So suppose if you are thinking that let me study something related to spirituality, or I have some spiritual knowledge, what should I do? You should connect with people. You should use the social media in order to spread your knowledge in front of the world. You will see the people who are associated with spirituality, for the Libra Ascendant people, all of a sudden they will earn name, fame, appraisals, appreciations. All of a sudden they will be like a spiritual leader in their own area. People will recognize them for their knowledge, for their humility. And that's how Ketu performs well in the 11th house. Ketu is a natural malefic planet, and in the 11th house normally will do better as compared to the other houses. So that's how Ketu will give you good results. Okay, so that's it for the Libra Ascendant people. For the Scorpio Ascendant people, Ketu will transit in your 10th house. 10th house is our status, our fame, name, work, career, karma, our working environment. the position which we hold. So Ketu can bring a disinterest in our work methodology, work ethics. You may all of a sudden feel unseen by your work. Means you are doing the work, you are doing each and everything, but still you are not getting the appropriate name and fame, appraisals, and your hard work, your efforts are simply left unseen by others, by the authorities, by the superiors. There can be all of a sudden conflicts, like between you and your colleagues. Means there can be misunderstanding, there can be lack of emotional empathy or lack of emotions, connections, all of a sudden because of Ketu in the 10th house. This also indicates change of job or change of career. You may feel that let me do something else. Your work will improve, but at the same time there can be a sense of sharp detachment, that if I am not getting applauded, if I am not getting the necessary appreciation, then what I am doing over here? What is my need? So there can be a very sharp disconnection with the type of work which you are doing, which was until now, which was making you very pride, very egoistic. Ketu will simply curve it down. So what Ketu will do? It will make you very inclined towards spiritual way of works. How? Now you are not focusing on name and fame, or that what will I get, or what people will think about me. Means your public name and fame. Now you are not thinking about that. You are just focusing on your work, your duty, your responsibility, and just moving from one work to another. That's how Ketu will work in your 10th house. One more thing, since Ketu is a headless planet and 10th house has something to do with responsibility, duty, patience, this transit will demand a lot of responsibility and patience from you. If you feel that something is not going in my way, so let me leave it, all of a sudden you feel detached and you left the job, that is not the solution. Because when you get the new work, the similar kind of thing will happen, because the transit of Ketu will be happening for 18 months. So what will you do? So this will demand a lot of responsibility and duty, patience, perseverance at your work. What Ketu will tell you, that forget your ego, forget your pride, just follow your work, follow your karma. That is what you need to do. Do it better, improve yourself. When we say improvement, and improvement very critically, that is a something, that is the area, something ruled by Ketu. So what it will happen, Ketu's transit in the 10th house will make you expert in your own work. Initially there can be detachment, initially there can be disinterest, but a time will come when you will see that I have to let go my ego, I have to let go my pride, and you will focus only on work. You will see that I don't need to focus on other things, because if I focus on other things, there can be a job loss, there can be a problem at my work, there can be conflicts because ego will come in between, that why I'm not getting the appreciation, I will not come to work next day. So what Ketu will make you feel, that you have to let go all this behavior and you have to just focus on your work. And by the blessing of Ketu, slowly and gradually you will become the expert in your own work, and you will see that it is just a matter of time when you will be totally accustomed, you will be habituated in doing the work more perfectly. So it will make you very perfect expert in your own genre, in any work you do, particularly for the people who are associated with spirituality, astrology, healing, mysticism, any kind of therapy. For them, this transit is very good. Ketu will enhance those work. So that's it for the Scorpio Ascendant people. For the Sagittarius Ascendant people, Ketu's transit is happening in the ninth house. Here, Ketu will ask questions regarding the regular rules and traditions. It will detach you from the normal rules and traditions. So this is also a time there can be conflicts with your mentors, with your gurus, or teachings of your guru. You may all of a sudden find disconnected with the teachings of your guru. Or you may feel that whatever I have learned up till now, whatever belief system I had up till now, that needs to be rechecked. Or you, if you had any kind of pride regarding your belief system, Ketu will curve it down. Like suppose if you had any egoistic conversation between you and any other person with respect to your dharma, your responsibilities, your belief system, and somehow you hurt the other person, Ketu will curve it down. So this also shows a strong detachment towards your thought process, your higher spiritual thinking, because there will be a change. Ketu will bring a change in it. So this can also bring a direct confrontations between you and your mentor, you and your guru, you and your father, or anyone in means anyone elder in your family, father figure, someone. There can be conflicts. There can be misunderstandings. There can be a sudden isolation, means ninth house is also long distance travels. So you may feel that let me move to some other place in order to find the true knowledge, true ideas. So one of the best way to tackle this, I will say that when you are going through the ancient scriptures, when you are going through the religious scriptures, or following the rituals, rules, regulations related to dharma, related to ancient scriptures, do it independently, practice it independently, learn it independently during this particular time. Because whatever your mentor will say, whatever your guru will say, initially will not connect with it. Initially there will be lot of problems because your ego, your pride was not allowing you to understand it, and now Ketu has simply curved it down. So now you are questioning it, that how it is true or how it is false and how it is working. So I would say study it independently, know it independently. You will see that spiritual learning, spiritual way of living will be highly beneficial during this particular time. All of a sudden there can be intuitions, there can be new knowledge coming in front of you. Explorations, long journeys, spiritual pursuits, religious pursuits will be beneficial to you. Now since it is the house of dharma, while confronting with your elders, with your mentor, with your guru, or while confronting their ideas, their ideologies, make sure that you don't indulge in any unethical way of living or something which is not righteous. You have to follow dharma, you have to follow the right principles. That is very essential. Okay, so that's how this Ketu will go give its result, and you have to make sure that you make the right decisions out of it, the right knowledge. Since Ketu is very critical, so when you are studying any scripture, when you are studying any philosophical idea, those critical knowledge, those critical ideologies will help you to grasp that knowledge, grasp that new ideas more better, and then you will be able to understand that what is right and what is wrong. That's how Ketu will play the game in your ninth house. So that's it for the Sagittarius ascendant people. For the Capricorn ascendant people, the transit of Ketu is happening in the 8th house. So first of all, I will say this is applicable for all the people, all the natives of Capricorn ascendant people, be it they are single, be it they are in any kind of relationship or not. This transit of Ketu will bring inner transformation at the core. So there can be a possibility that you may question yourself, your own ideologies, your own philosophies with respect to how you deal your life, how you perform your duties and responsibilities in the presence of others. It can be any person, how you bind with others and how you perform your responsibilities towards the other people. When you are associated with handling joint assets, joint resources, legacies, or anything related to inheritance, or you are in any kind of partnership where you are given the responsibility to manage certain things, certain works, certain duties, there can be detachment, there can be mishandling, there can be losses because you were not well connected to that responsibility. Ketu will bring detachment regarding those duties and responsibility. So this is a very important time for all the Capricorn Ascendant natives, particularly the people who are somehow have the duty and responsibility towards any kind of work, assets, finances, money, be it insurance papers, be it anything related to legacies, and they have the responsibility to take care of it. Due to their mishandling or due to their um, absent mindedness or any kind of actions which was not taken decisively, there can be problems, there can be losses which needs to be taken care of very essentially. The people who are in any kind of personal relationship, now this I am particularly talking about the people who are in a married life or in any kind of relationship, particularly married life, there can be problems, conflicts between you and your partner. There is a situation where there can be some other person secretly in your life by the ingress of Ketu in the sign of Leo in your 8th house. Because you will see that now you are becoming very secretive, you are becoming very isolated, you are not even sharing your inner thoughts in front of the people who are very near and dear to you. So this secrecy, this secretive nature will create communication gaps between you and your partner, and that isolated environment, when you are feeling isolation between you and your partner, that isolation can also create the need of companionship, and that can lead to jump into some other third person. Now that will depend upon the chart also, the horoscope of the native, the dasa the native is going through, that will depend upon that also. But this is what the transit is indicating. It also indicates a very deep sense of inner transformation, your ideologies, the change in ideologies, too much interest in spiritual learning, spiritual growth, in different kind of knowledge, secrecy, mystical science, occult science, tantra, astrology. So all of a sudden you will start hiding the things, you start hiding your feelings in front of your partner. Since 8th house is also the house of responsibility of a married life, Mangalya Bhav, what we say. So if not taken care of properly, this can lead to problems at serious level, particularly for the people who are already running through any kind of unfavorable dasa, or whose 7th house is afflicted, 8th house is afflicted in their natal horoscope. For the Capricorn Ascendant people I am talking about, this becomes very important. When I say that there is a chance of a third person coming up in your life in a secret manner, this does not mean that it will happen for everyone, but this is what the transit is indicating. And if the dasas are not correct, then this can lead to problems. On certain aspect, you will see that even if you are trying to make everything correct, you are misunderstood. So that can also lead to detachment. with respect to your duties and responsibilities in your marriage or relationship, or performing your duties towards your shared resources, finances. So what you need to do, you need to check out all the loopholes, problems, difficulties, and solve it one by one, because that's how Ketu will allow you to do it. It will change your perception, it will transform you in a different way. Critical thinking. Here Ketu will make you a very sharp minded critical thinker. Allow that characteristics to your benefit. You can resolve the mistakes, you can resolve the problems. Have a very straightforward conversation between you and your partner. The people who are not in any kind of relationship, for them I would say that this is a time of transformation with respect to their own nature, own identity. You will see that this is a time where you need to be very careful regarding your decisions, because 8th house is 12th from the 9th house. That means 8th house has something to do with, if 9th house is dharma, then 8th house becomes loss of dharma, that is adharma, and Ketu is headless planet. So during this particular time, make sure that you don't indulge in any kind of work which is unethical, which is illicit, which is not meant to be done, or else problems may follow, because it will have consequences. And this is applicable for all the Capricorn natives, whether they are in a relationship or not, whether they are not in a relationship or not. For the people who are going through any kind of health issues, for them I will say that during this particular time they might face delays in recovery, particularly any kind of chronic disease, because Ketu doesn't allow to identify the problems. So when you're connecting with a people, when a person, and you know that you have certain duties with respect to that person, follow proper humility. Forget about your ego, forget about your pride, or else problems may be there. So that's it for the Capricorn ascendant people. For the Aquarius ascendant people, Ketu is transiting in your 7th house, the house of binding with other people, your partner, your relationship, your business partnership, your collaborations. Even if you are single, your ability to connect with other people, that is 7th house. Ketu is coming over here. So what Ketu will do? Ketu will create detachment while connecting with other people. So this can also create sudden disconnection, detachment, emotional detachment at the emotional level with your partner. This I am talking particularly with about someone who are in a relationship or in a marital relationship. I am talking about in a marriage, because that is what 7th house is all about. There can be all of a sudden detachment between you and your partner. So this can lead to conflicts, this can lead to miscommunication, because the thoughts are not clear. You are not able to express yourself in front of your partner, or certain things are creating that fog, that clouded nature between you and your partner, and that has to be taken care of. Because if you feel that it will be all of a sudden rectified, no, because Ketu's transit is of 18 months, it is not a month or 2 months transit. If you suddenly feel that the detachment is coming or the disconnection is coming, that can be because of any reason, because Ketu is transiting, and Ketu will curb down your pride and ego. So previously, out of your ego, when you are connecting with your partner, and maybe your partner is not able to answer you back, or the partner is hurt because of your behavior, Ketu will curb it down. So your confidence, your pride with respect to your partner, with respect to relationship, that pride will be curbed down. So that can lead to some kind of, like, you will be taken aback, some kind of introspection, emotional detachment between you and your partner. At the professional level, this can lead to following lack of instructions, lack of duties and responsibilities towards your work. towards your partnership. So your other partners will all of a sudden feel burdened because you are not following your responsibilities and duties properly. So that can lead to conflicts. For the people who are single, they will see that when they are connecting with other people, either the other peoples are judging you a lot, or you are not feeling attached or connected to be in public, to be it in mass fame, in front of everyone. Because seventh house is also your public image. So now you are not willing to be in public, or now you are not willing to express yourself in front of everyone. The people who are thinking to get married, or they are thinking to get into a relationship, they might attract, or they might get into a relationship with a person who are either very spiritual, or the relationship decision can be very random, very haphazard, taken very hurriedly, without knowing the consequence, without knowing the actual true nature of your partner. Means it can be only because you wanted to get into a relationship, all of a sudden you take the decision, and later on you may find that the decision was not correct. Means unclear thoughts, because Ketu is headless. So you jump into a relationship, you jump into a life of a person, and later on you may feel that I actually don't deserve this person, means I deserve something else. Now what else you don't know, because Ketu is headless. So during this particular time, it becomes very important that if you get into a relationship, you should be very clear about it. Okay, because other thing is that you may also attract someone who is very spiritual, a spiritual partner, but there will be some kind of emotional detachment by the virtue of this transit. Now suppose if you are running through a very favorable dasa in your chart, then the impact of this transit may not be in that much magnitude, which normally it can be for a person who is running through some kind of unfavorable dasa. Because in that case what will happen, this transit of Ketu might also create detachment, disconnection, or any kind of arguments which can lead to some kind of separating tendencies. Means you may feel that I don't want to stay with this person, or I don't want in this this kind of relationship, or this kind of feeling. Dasa will have the final say. But since Ketu is transiting in the 7th house, this kind of things can be a possibility. One more thing, 7th house is also indicative of favors from your employee. Favors from your employer. Okay. Because it's 10th from the 10th house. All of a sudden you will feel that you are not getting any favor, you are not getting any benefit, or your words are not heard by your employers, by your authorities. So they are not understanding your situation. Suppose you want few days off, you want few days leave, and they are not understanding your scenario. So all of a sudden you might also feel detached from your work, from your regular responsibilities and duties. So this transit of Ketu in the 7th house becomes very essential, very challenging in certain respects, I will say, for the Aquarius Ascendant people. So I will say that particularly when you are in a partnership, or when you are connecting with some new people, for the people, for someone who is single, who are connecting with some new people, don't allow any kind of miscommunications to prosper, to proceed. If you feel that something might lead to conflict, then and there have the conversation, mitigate it, solve it, resolve it, or else the problems will proceed. Because what Ketu will do, Ketu will create sudden detachment. So what will happen? Maybe you may not get a second chance or another chance to resolve it, or it may take you months to resolve it. Because that how Ketu works, it will create blockage, it will create delays. Okay, so that's it for the Aquarius ascendant people. For the Pisces ascendant people, Ketu's transit is happening in the 6th house. So this is a time where you will see that in normal job and normal service, the normal work which you are doing, all of a sudden there can be disconnection or detachment by which you are by the way you are doing your work. So this is a very good time for the people who want a change of job, who badly want a change of job or change of position. Transit of Ketu in the 6th house, change in service environment, or there can be a disconnection in the service environment, the way you are working. So change in job can be seen, change in position can be seen. There can also be a situation where you need to do a lot of hard work and you might not get appreciation for that, because 6th house is service and Ketu in Leo is asking you that you don't run for pride, you don't run for appreciation, you don't run for attention seeking, that what people will think, what your public image will be. You don't run for that, you just do your work. So Ketu in 6th house will also make you expert in your own work, any work you are doing. Only one thing Ketu wants, that you don't run for that pride, that false ego, or else there can be problems between you and your authorities. There can be problem with your work, with your job. The detachment will increase so much that all of a sudden you will feel that I need to change my job, I cannot go, I cannot work in this working environment. But if you ask the qualities of Ketu, that is critical thinking, that critical research oriented powers of Ketu, you will see that you are slowly becoming expert, more perfect in any kind of work which you are doing. So this transit of Ketu will be beneficial in that regard. Since Ketu being a natural malefic planet, transiting in the 6th house, normally it will give very good results. One more thing I will say, it will curb down your rivals, it will curb down your hidden enemies. But one more thing, since Ketu is a planet which takes you inward, this will also bring forward your inner fears. Here enemies in the outside world will not be the problem for you. Here the enemies will be any kind of fear within you, regarding your work, regarding how you are connecting with your authorities, how you are connecting with your working colleagues, working environment. 6th house is also the house of diseases, injuries. Okay, basically it is the house of problems, I would say. In that regard, I will say that follow proper health related discipline, that is highly essential during this transit. One more thing, since 6th house is also the house of injuries and all, and Ketu is a headless planet, so make sure that you don't get into any kind of work or any kind of actions which is too much adventurous. Watch your steps. Okay, so these are the things which needs to be careful about, because it can also lead to injuries and other things, cuts basically. But with regards to work, with regards to your hard work, if you follow the necessary rules, regulations and discipline from the roots, you will see that this Ketu's transit will make you really a perfect person for that work. So that's how it will give you good results. So that's it for the Pisces ascendant people. If you have liked this video, press the like button, share it to your near and dear ones, and your comments are always welcome to me. If you are new to this channel, tap onto the subscribe button, click onto the notification bell icon, so that every time I make a new content you get notified instantly. And if you want a consultation from me, check the links down in the description section. You can mail me through my email ID or get connected with me through my Facebook or Instagram accounts. So I'm signing off for today. Thanking you. Bye bye.